In virtually 99.9999% of every situation, it will be coated. Regardless of where you find your car leather, steering wheel, seating, door panels, matters not, is that your car leather is finished with a clear protective coating, because that's the one thing that changes everything. And by everything, I mean your understanding of leather, cleaning leather, leather cleaners, leather conditioners. Does this really change everything? I think it does. Regardless of the cost of your car leather, regardless of the cost of your vehicle, matters not. Regardless of the type of vehicle, matters not. Truck, minivan, SUV, sedan, sports car, matters not. How much does it cost? Matters not. $20,000, $50,000, $300,000, $5 million? That might be hyperbolic. I've never actually detailed a car that was cost $5 million. But I have detailed plenty of expensive, exotic, and luxury sedans that have cost $300,000 or more. And the same truth applies pretty much universally across the board. There is such rare exceptions that they're not worth mentioning, but I know your inquisitive mind will ask, well, wait, Darren, I really need to know that exception, because what if I own one of those exceptions? Okay, there's only two examples, and they're both in trucks and one SUV, produced by Ford specifically, and it's called a King Ranch Edition, which has uncoated car leather in it, which is not really a car because it's an SUV or a truck. That is the only time I've come across in 35 years of detailing a leather that was not coated, because that's the one thing that changes everything, is that your car leather is finished with a clear protective coating. Now, before you throw a fit and say, no, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that I can't take the right leather cleaner and the right leather conditioner and work it and massage it into my leather and make my leather into something that it's not. Because that clear coating, for one, will prevent that from happening. Secondly, you can't transform garbage leather into non-garbage leather. It doesn't work. Like everything else in life, nothing is created equally despite what we're taught. The general operating rule is this: the more you're willing to pay, the better the product, the better the raw ingredient, the better the sourced ingredient called leather will be. So there's so many factors involved just at the fundamental level, but car manufacturers have made your life simpler because they use coated car leather to build your car, to build the seats, the steering wheel, the door panels. In virtually 99.9999% of every situation, it will be coated, which means it's virtually impervious to liquids, which means that you shopping for a dedicated car leather cleaner or a leather conditioner, it's rendered irrelevant. It does not matter because you're not working with a natural material any longer. You're working with a natural material that has a coating on it. Once again, the good news, because everything becomes better or easier. Wear and tear is sustained, as in it's more durable for traditional wear and tear. Cleaning products can be more aggressive because of that coating. Your scrub pads or scrub brushes can be more aggressive because of that coating. So in every possible way I can think of, life is better because you're dealing with coated car leather. Now, to help you wrap your mind around this, I'm going to illustrate this with a couple examples. The first one is we'll bounce into a 2024 Cadillac, has white leather, and I'm going to show you a little demonstration. Welcome to my three-dimensional demonstration that I hope will help your brain connect the dots in a way that will alter your behavior in cleaning your leather and coming to alternate conclusions, which is that your leather is finished with a clear coating. So I have laid down this clear layer of what is called clear plastic food wrap, saran wrap. We call it numerous things here in the United States. I'm using it to illustrate the point. And maybe by this three-dimensional demonstration, you can wrap your mind around the fact that, wait, leather is leather, but a synthetic clear coating is different than leather. Hopefully the demonstration illustrates to your brain where it's like, oh, actually I get it now. So they can actually apply a clear protective coating to leather that it will give and will be as malleable and flexible as natural leather, because that kind of confused my brain also, where I thought, is there really a clear protective coating on it? And if there is, how does my brain make sense of that? How do I reconcile the fact that this natural product or material called leather is so malleable and flexible that they can put a clear protective coating on it and it really is there because, well, I can't see it. I just have to accept that it's there, but I still remain a little skeptical. In my quest to always find the best comparison to illustrate a point, I was thinking about this subject and I thought there's got to be something that people are familiar with that will allow them to more easily connect the dots between car leather that we have been trained is super sensitive and needs all these special products and conditioners to maintain, versus car leather that's coated that doesn't need all that stuff, that can be simpler, easier, and faster to deal with because of that coating. Right here on my shirt, it's called screen printing. So for example, that's part of what was my own personal struggle when I first learned about coated car leather decades ago. And if you're a frequent tuner-inner of my channel, you will know that I have many videos on this where I talk about car leather is coated car leather, therefore your life is easier and simpler as a car owner or as a detailer. But even in my own head, I thought, somehow I remain a little skeptical, especially when I'm working on like a $300,000 plus vehicle and there's a lot more on the line versus a $20,000 Honda Accord with leather in it. So trust me, this struggle is real and valid. But with that said, I'm looking for an example to help you guys make the connection, to reconcile the disconnect that probably exists in your own head, which is, I don't know, I believe Darren, but do I really believe him? Can I really use those more aggressive scrub pads and scrub brushes? And can I really go away from the dedicated car leather cleaners that the industry wants me to buy and use on my leather because it's special? Yes. And it's sitting right here on my chest in the form of screen printing. You see this layer says Auto Fetish right there. So that is a layer of paint, dye, ink, you can call it whatever you want. It's called screen printing. At least here in the US, it's called screen printing. But you will notice how flexible this remains. This shirt has also been washed probably about 50 times. Gone through the water, detergents, then into the dryer, then onto my body. It goes to the gym, it goes to the store, it goes to the bank, it goes a lot of places, and it goes everywhere I go. And this imprint is meant to be permanent. And I will call it very permanent, which is the same as your car leather. So yes, that clear coating is there. Despite how pliable and flexible your car leather is, it's there. And once again, that is the good news as a car owner and as a detailer, because it makes your life simpler. So I hope those two examples will help you make the connection and formulate new conclusions, which is, oh my gosh, do I love modern day chemistry and engineering and manufacturing? Because yes, in fact, there are times where the industry does make my life better, and I am putting forth the argument that this is one of those moments. With that said, don't forget to give the video a like on the way out, and by all means, leave me a comment. Weigh in on the topic. Let me know, like, hey, Darren, I struggled with that myself. I was uncertain about it, but I started testing other products on leather. Here I was consuming my garage space or my van as a detailer with all these special products for car leather, cleaners and conditioners. And now I find out that, wait, I'm not even touching the natural leather material. I'm only touching this synthetic layer on it, and that literally changes everything. All right, I'll see you on the next video.